Oh, welcome back, everybody. Another wonderful, glorious, oh my God, it's hot week.
Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I really should have put all my air conditioners in.
Yeah, ours has been working full blast.
No, yeah. Yeah, my bedroom one is. Like, it's a nice, crisp 62 degrees in there.
We've been making it part of our routine. As soon as it hits 8 o'clock, run into the bedroom, turn the air conditioner on, come back out, so that by the time 9 comes around, be ready for us to go to bed. Because we're still old people. Go to bed at 9.
I did get a message from somebody, and
Oh,
they were, they had some, they had a topic that they wanted us to talk about.
okay.
Um, Addiction. Is it a disease or a choice?
All right.
So I figure. And so I went ahead and pulled all the top 10 ones
Okay.
because,
Top 10 topics or
no, top 10 uh, addictions.
yeah.
So, because I mean, I just knew a couple.
Uh-huh.
So I figured we'd go down the list. And because I hate to generalize the whole thing
Yeah.
because I think some can be, some can't. I don't know. I mean, what's your, like, where are you at right now with that?
I think at least like 90% of the time drug addiction is a disease. And there's a 10% of the time that it's choice.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Like,
Okay.
I think that it's a choice.
100% is full.
Well, I mean yeah, sure, maybe there's an odd case here and there
Uh-huh.
where there's like an underlying thing, but I think it's a lot more seldom than people are giving credit to it. So,
Okay.
because I mean, if I go this long without being addicted to drugs,
Yeah.
I mean, I could be, you know.
Well, you technically are.
Well, that's in there, like
Yeah.
in the thing, but this is talking about like drugs, like
Yeah.
like cocaine, meth, marijuana,
Yeah.
I know some people right now are like, marijuana's not a drug. And it is.
It is a drug. There's a reason why it just became legal.
I could have argued it, like back in the 90s. Like, nah, marijuana is different. Like,
People would have backed you.
yeah, but like the stuff that they got these days, that ain't marijuana. It ain't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But, label it however you want. But anyway,
Well, for me at least, working at the rehab last year for most of the year I worked at a rehab, a
uh,
drug rehab, and I would say a good 90 to 95% of people that came in there, they said that their like addiction started whenever they were a kid because their parents did it, and so they were around it and whatnot. And uh, there was an couple odd cases where their parents would like make the kids do it, and it would be like a fun bonding thing for people. You know how like most normal families or something, whenever their kids get to that age, like, hey son, you want to come over to the house and sit and have a beer? Something like that, just
yeah.
relaxing thing. That's kind of what it was like for a lot of the people that are in really strong drug addiction. That it was infused that whenever they were a kid, that it was right. Like this, oh, this is a fun thing. We're supposed to do this.
Mhm.
And now coming into their adult life, it's like, oh wait, this is bad. But I'm too far gone. I've already changed my full brain chemistry, and that's why for people who do go through rehab and become clean, it's not just like a couple years you're clean, you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's something you have to maintain for the rest of your life. Having the thoughts of not doing it and reminding yourself you can't. It's a daily thing for years.
Well, I don't like, yeah, like they were introduced to it whenever they were young, but like, you go even in public schools, like it is like hammered home on, don't do drugs. I mean, there's a whole DARE program.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's pretty common knowledge that they're bad for you and, they hurt and, you know, but people still choose to do it. It just became commonplace. Like I look at like drugs and alcoholism like a lot of the same, because
Yeah.
you normalize it. and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's okay because Billy Bob does it.
Yeah.
So my dad did it, mom did it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and then you just end up choosing to make excuses on why you should or why you deserve to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I see your side of it. I still agree with my side, but I see your side. I see your point of view, and it makes
yeah.
sense.
Um, well, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit. Let's go to alcoholism.
Okay.
How do you feel on that?
I feel it's. I feel like it starts as a choice. It's not very common to be like brought into it from your parents. I mean, like you'll see your parents drink and whatnot,
Mhm.
but I mean, like there are some cases where it's like a bonding thing, like I was talking about. But I think most of the time, alcohol is a choice, at least for most people. I
Yeah.
mean, there are still, like I said, there's still some cases where it's like they've been brought up as it's like a normal thing that you're supposed to do, kind of thing.
Mhm.
But I would say in general, it's mostly a choice, just because it's like people who are alcoholics have built up quite a tolerance to it. Like you have to drink a lot to stay an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So it's like you are choosing to go and spend, hundreds of dollars a week on beer, liquor, whatever, and just dump it into you over and over and over until you finally feel like a buzz or you're drunk or
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like it's much easier to not be an alcoholic than a drug addict.
Well, I mean, I mean, for me, it's been fairly easy not to do either one,
Yeah.
because there are steps that you have to go to. I mean, the drug one is a lot more complicated,
Yeah.
like you got to work to get them,
Yeah.
like I mean, marijuana now, I mean, now you just got to go to the store.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as alcohol, but the effects are not. But, but it's still, even with alcohol, you got to go and you got about this 12 pack. You got to get the cooler. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like, you're choosing to take all these steps to get to that.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's not a disease by any means. I think the disease thing is a convenient excuse for a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that making sense.
Um, let's go down to smoking.
Smoking.
Yeah, it's something I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody has their, not to be Bible, but vices.
Uh-huh.
You know, um, I think everybody has them. You know, um, Smoking, I feel like I can talk on, but smoking is a choice. Like
Yeah.
I have chose to do this to my own body.
Yeah. I That's one of the ones I agree with you on. I think it is a choice because I mean I'm kind of proof, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I started vaping whenever I was 13, 14, and then eventually switched to cigarettes and I just stopped last year
Hmm.
and now I still use the little nicotine pouches, but I don't get a buzz from them at all. It literally just subsides the urge to not smoke.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hate them. I think they're disgusting. They taste like shit, but they subside the urge for me wanting to smoke, so I do them.
Yeah. Well, it's like, the nicotine, like you do get with, and it's the same thing with drugs, alcohol. You get to a certain point. Well, yeah, you got to kind of keep doing it or
Yeah.
you go through the withdrawals,
Yeah.
and withdrawals can be dangerous whenever, especially drug. I mean, you've seen it, right?
Yeah. Whenever people would come in off the streets or straight up going in cold turkey,
Yeah.
you have to put them on all these kinds of medications that take their, like, for alcoholism, like, there's a really strong chance of blood clots
Mhm.
because, alcohol thins your blood. And if your blood has been that thin for that long, going in and just making it normal, just randomly, like you're very prone to blood clots. So you have to take a lot of blood thinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then with uh, drugs, there's problems with I don't remember what it was. I think it's your liver or another thing with your heart. I don't remember. But yeah, it's dangerous. With smoking, it's not as bad. Like, there's not really, you'll feel sick as a dog for a while.
Mhm.
Like, whenever I quit vaping, it was really, really bad. When I quit smoking, I didn't go through any withdrawals really. But
Yeah. Well, you didn't smoke for that long.
I smoked for like 2 years.
Oh, was it too?
I think it was 2 years. Still, I mean, that's not very long for most people that smoke, but yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean, what am I on? Year 30, 32, like some shit like
yeah,
that. Like, yeah, it's been like a bad deal. Like I started when I was 13, and
yeah,
it all started just because, like, well, hey, these guys are cool and they're doing it.
yeah,
I want to be in on the crowd. I made a choice to do that.
yeah.
You know, um,
I think there is an age with smoking that it's too late to quit. Like, I think currently at your age, I don't think it's too late yet.
no.
But whenever you hit like 50, I think if you quit, it's going to cause more problems than continuing to smoke.
Well, I had a friend that the doctor. It was weird, but the doctor um, recommended that she did not quit smoking
Yeah,
because it would be more detrimental to her health.
yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, never thought I'd hear that from a doc, but all right.
Well, I mean, it's like because you do go. I mean, I'm assuming at least from long term smoking, you do come with some withdrawals from it. And one thing would be your lungs, like because you've been damaging your lungs for decades, and
Mhm.
then just out of nowhere, like, oh shit, like your lungs have come to come to terms with the abuse, and then quitting smoking, it's like, oh, I now don't have that abuse anymore. What am I supposed to do? And it's just, if I remember right, your lungs get full of scar tissue if you quit smoking after smoking for a certain amount of time because you've been constantly injuring them and they immediately want to start healing and
Yeah, I
then
don't
it
know.
gets full of scar tissue. I'm not sure. Don't fact check me, but
I
I
work in
think so.
trash. I mean, I have no idea.
I used to do medical, so I'm not sure. But
Well, I mean, shoot, the way I look at it, like, I mean, the shit I breathe in on the daily,
yeah,
cigarettes is probably the worst, or probably the least of my concerns. Like, I'm all the time got stuff, in the air and whatnot. And
yeah, all the chemicals that have
yeah,
mixed together and making whatever.
yeah. I mean, sometimes it's good. I got a filter in my mouth. Um,
Yeah,
but no, that was for me. It was definitely a choice. I chose to do it, and then the only reason that I continue to do it, really, um, I mean, I hate to alienate anybody, but I continue to smoke because I'm kind of a pussy whenever it comes to that. I don't want to deal with the withdrawals or the cravings or anything like that. That's the
yeah,
whole reason why I don't quit,
yeah,
and until I man up and actually do it. But I mean, that's really the only reason why addiction beats anybody is because you don't want to deal with the consequences of coming off of it.
yeah.
So,
And the consequences of being without it.
no, I think these are kind of the rest of them seem a little different, like gambling.
Yeah.
How do you feel on gambling?
I do think that's a choice. Like you're choosing to leave your house to go spend hours at a location that doesn't belong to you
Yeah,
and dump money into a company that doesn't give a shit about you.
honestly, I look at gambling as 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of poetic when it comes to gambling, but I think one side they choose to do that, right? And
Uh-huh.
then the other side, it's not. I don't think it's a disease,
Okay.
but it's definitely something in their brain that wants to forego, like, you know, I don't feel like I can or I should have to work to get this amount of money. I'm going to go here and just hope that they give it to me because I deserve it, kind of deal. I
Yeah.
don't think it's an actual disease per se. I think it's a mindset that really gets people in it.
Yeah. I I guess I'm kind of cold-hearted towards people who gamble, or not people who gamble, people who ruin their life with gambling.
Yeah.
'Cause I know several people that gamble, and they are not ruining their lives from it.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of extra money that they don't need. Everything they have to have is paid for. And you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, go to the casino, go spend 100 extra bucks I have or something.
Yeah.
I don't see that as much of an issue. I mean, if you're going every weekend, then you're eventually going to be ruining your life. But I don't have sympathy for people who ruin their life over gambling.
Well, there are people that think that they are so good at gambling that they can do it as a job,
Yeah.
you
Some
know,
people do it as a job, like successfully.
for a while,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, gambling and like to me, gambling and the stock market cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Like
I can see that.
it's the same thing.
It's just a chance thing.
Yeah, it's a different because you don't know what the stocks are doing. You don't know what the um, roulette wheel is doing. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Um, but people think they know what they're doing. I mean, just last week I was talking about, down 2%. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just taking a guess. It's the same thing as gambling. Now, where there's a difference is like I'm not going someplace and going through money I don't have. I'm doing pennies, you know,
Yeah.
comparably. But, you know, as far as like, going and just pulling on this, and people, and the worst thing that happens to people that do gamble is when they win.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I won $10,000 at the casino. Yeah, but didn't you spend like 30 to get that 10?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, sure. Like, I'll give you 10 grand if you're going to give me 30. All right, I'll
Yeah.
put 20 in my pocket right quick,
Yeah.
and yeah, sure, no problem. If that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
but I've had family members, trying to pay for like property taxes on shit, by going to the casino, going and betting money that isn't theirs,
Yeah.
you know. Like it's a personal thing to me. I actually hate like the casino. I'll go, but I know how dangerous it is, and I've seen it do things to people that you're like, wow.
Yeah.
If you just go there, stand there and watch for a little bit, you'd be amazed. You'd be all like, okay, they don't have a car.
Yeah.
They're getting kicked out of their house. And I'm not trying to judge anybody for going, but you can tell that the problems are there.
Yeah.
If you have disposable income and that's how you choose to do it, it's a good night's entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone to the casino for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
So went to the casino, got a hotel room. There was a concert that I wanted to go to. So that was one night. Next night I went gambling. There's restaurants, there's pools, like there's a whole thing. I planned a weekend, a getaway for myself, and gambling was just a small part of it
Yeah.
because I had the income to do that. So, but I mean, if you're taking, well, I got to hit tonight, or I ain't gonna be able to, pay rent, or I'm gonna lose my car or something. Well, then well, maybe DoorDash, you know, um, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
go out in the woods and get some sticks and start making wood lamps. I mean,
Yeah.
some shit, but I think that's probably enough for gambling though. Um, how you feel about social media as an addiction? Think that's real?
mm, I do think it's real. I do think people are addicted to social media. I do think it's a choice. Like, whenever TikTok got banned,
Hmm.
I like everybody was flipping shit, like trying to find the next app, trying to find
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and I was kind of happy. Like, I'm not a, I don't know. I was happy about it, and my friends were like, "What are you talking about? Like, TikTok is great. Why are you like? We need TikTok." I'm like, "No, you're the part of the problem. We don't need TikTok, and you thinking you need it is part of the problem.
I think we needed the old TikTok.
I don't think we need any kind of TikTok. I don't think we need any kind of social media.
Well, the
None of it's necessary."
right, but like the TikTok before the ban was a lot more free. Like you get on TikTok now, you'll scroll for a little bit and then commercial, 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 and then it's all commercialized. They're, hey, link your Facebook account,
Yeah.
da 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 da. It's a meta company now.
Well, that makes it better than the original TikTok.
No, because I mean, it's not the same content.
Well, I mean, in like the extra commercials now, I think having more commercials on social media is a good thing because it's making people more pissed off. So then they'll be on like on social media less.
I am on TikTok quite a bit.
I am too. I'm a victim of it.
Yeah,
I'm on TikTok and social media all the time.
the commercials haven't slowed me down. It's an
Yeah.
it's an annoyance that you gotta swipe your thumb up. You know, like
Well,
I mean
see,
that's
like
it.
it works with people like me. Like whenever I find an ad that I have to, I keep getting a bunch of ads, I'll get off because I'm like, like all I'm seeing is ads. I'll close the app. But like
Well,
then there's people like you that'll just keep going.
I don't think that people are addicted to social media. I think they're addicted to the clout that comes from it. I mean, because there is a certain like serotonin. Was it
Dopamine.
dopamine?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of like dopamine hit that you get whenever you make a post and there's so many likes and
Yeah.
like I've made a couple of TikToks and I mean I checked how many views that I've gotten.
Yeah.
I mean we're actually in that world now. I mean, we always talk about, like how many views we have, how many we did have. It's more of a, I don't know, strategy kind of thing. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, oh my God, we got, 17 views,
Yeah.
It's only because I watched it 17 times. Um, but, I mean, there is a dopamine hit that's pretty hard. And I don't think it matters what social media platform you get it off of,
Yeah.
as long as you get it. I think that's what people get addicted to on that.
I think it's more of the constant all day entertainment. Like people have no ability to be bored anymore. Like you
That is accurate as fuck.
like there's no I have not seen a person that I mean, unless they're just finding a way to complain or something, but you have no excuse to ever be bored for probably the rest of your life now.
Yeah.
Because you've got, like 2 million games you can play on your phone. Like there's 7 major
Mhm,
social medias, the whole internet ready for you. Even whenever you don't have like service or Wi-Fi or
mhm.
something, you've got a shit ton of games that don't take it. You can just keep playing games all day long.
So,
Like no one will ever be bored ever again,
yeah, I
and that's a
mean,
problem. People need to be bored.
I remember I was talking about it with I wanna say it was Jamie in Brooklyn. I was talking about how, like, whenever we go to the grocery store, whenever I was little,
Yeah.
and, that was back whenever you could be left in the car and nobody would call you in.
Yeah.
Um, Mainly because nobody had cell phones and you'd forget by the time you got to the house.
Yeah.
But, we'd be sitting in, you know, the back of the Plymouth,
Yeah.
no AC,
Yeah.
middle of summer, and my mom would go into the grocery store and leave us, in the car. And most times she came out with groceries. Sometimes she didn't. I think she just needed a break. But um, no Game Boys, no cell phones,
Yep.
no nothing. We just had to sit in the car and just look around,
Yeah.
you know. Um, I
Talk
remember,
to people, use your imagination.
yeah, I remember riding with my grandma who had this. Oh God, what was it? It was a Ford Taurus or with that copper looking station wagon,
Okay.
or not, is
Maybe
it?
a Pinto.
No, it was like a Torino.
Okay.
Um, anyway, had a 351 Cleveland in it, second gear scratch. But anyway, we would take it to all the way to Kansas City from here,
Yeah.
pulling a horse trailer. That's
Okay.
why she loaded all her quilts in and everything. And no Game Boys, no nothing. And me and my brothers would fight on who gets to go with her this time.
Yeah.
You know, we got to fight for who's going to be bored for the next 2.5 hours
Yeah.
driving up there. So, um, it was, yeah. So whenever you guys would come up when you were little, like I'm bored, and I'm like, how? I got what 4 TVs in this house.
3 PlayStations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you both got cell phones. Like there's stuff outside. I'm bored.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like your generation definitely cannot be bored.
Yeah. I think it's good for us to be bored because then you actually have to use your fucking brain
Yeah.
instead of like, oh, I'm bored. Let me like I do it all the time. Don't get me wrong, but there are times at I'm at home. I'm like I in my head I'm bored,
Mhm.
and I'm like, that's not a bad thing. And so I will just sit there. I won't do anything. I'll just kind of sit there and just think for a minute,
Yeah.
and then like, okay, I'm done, and then I'll go find something to do. But I do kind of wish that I had less access to things to do. Like I have too many things that I can do. Like there's so many video games, so many books and comic books and
Mhm.
Instagram and all the. I wish I had less things to do, so I would like do more things with my actual life. Like this weekend. This weekend I spent playing video games, watching TV, hanging
Mhm.
out with Emma. Like I should have spent this weekend, cleaning, doing laundry,
Yeah.
working on something. But I have too many things that I can be doing that I don't want to do those things.
You want to have a fun, relaxing time, like for cheap,
Okay.
just get in the car, leave your cell phone at home,
Yeah.
and just go for a drive. Just drive around, hit the country roads, listen to music, think, talk to yourself,
Yeah.
yell at yourself. It's a great time. I mean, I'll do it every once in a while. Just leave my cell phones and just go drive around.
Yeah.
Hit all the old dirt roads I used to go down.
Whenever I worked at the rehab, I would do that.
Yeah, it's
I would
nice.
go I would go park out. I would go and catch the sunset every night. I
Yeah,
would go park out next to on the road that leads to low water, that gravel road, and just get out and just sit on the hood and just watch the sunset, not doing anything. No
yeah,
music, no nothing, just
yeah.
crickets chirping and wind blowing.
I think it's healthy. I think it's nice. Speaking of healthy and or lack thereof, the next one is food. Being addicted to food,
Yeah.
pretty much basically sugar and processed foods.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Like disease or choice?
Hmm.
Choice. I do think it is a problem, but it is a choice. Like
I think it's a choice, but I think it's a lack of choice.
well, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not so much of a choice actually, because like for instance, at our house, like our household doesn't make a whole lot of money. So most of our money goes to bills. Our budget for eating is low, and it's much more. You can get a lot more food that's processed and junk and just terrible for you for cheaper. And like you can get a whole week's worth of groceries for say $50
Hmm.
of just a bunch of junk, like instant noodles, a bunch of stuff like that. But if you were to go spend $50 on healthy groceries, like fruits, vegetables, meats, things
Yeah,
like that, $50 would get you at most 2 days.
yeah.
And that'd be stretching it.
Well, not only that, the investment you have to have into prepping it.
Yeah, it takes a lot more time, a lot more
Yeah.
money.
Like
People just
Jamie,
don't have time or money anymore.
like Jamie right now is in the process of meal prepping,
Yeah,
and they have bought healthy food, you
yeah,
know, um, and they're making it for the whole week. Um, Now I've been down the meal prep road, and so have you.
yeah,
The problem with that is you get bored.
yeah. Eating
They,
the same thing
yeah,
every day.
taste buds love to be excited. They
Yeah,
they don't want to be bored. Um, a healthy lifestyle is boring as fuck.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it falls in the choice category, but I think it's a choice because of the lack of choice. I don't think
yeah,
it's a disease to where like, oh, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. Yeah, I mean, that's part of addiction, sure. Like you're addicted to sugar. Like I'm addicted to sugar,
yeah.
you know, like, you
I
know,
don't think I'm addicted to sugar. I drink mostly water,
oh, not
but
me. 4, 5 energy drinks a day.
yeah, I haven't had an
Like,
energy drink in years.
and if I feel like I'm, overdoing it,
Yeah,
on energy drinks for the day, I'll try to mellow it out and with a nice Mountain Dew or 7,
yeah,
So I mean, I'm not drinking water all day long. So like I have become accustomed but that's why I like doing the diet thing like every now and then
yeah,
because like whenever I limit myself to like one soda a day, That is
Makes you
the
appreciate that
that is the
soda.
best fucking soda I have ever had each and every time.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if it's cold, hot, you know, it don't matter. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wish there was some way as a society, you know, we could make it to where you actually had a choice in between eating healthy or unhealthy.
With the same
Um,
amount of money.
yeah, I mean, I would love to eat healthier, you know, I really do, but you know, like I spent $46 on that exact list that you just said.
Yeah.
You know, I
Instant
mean, I
noodles.
got a bunch of them,
Yeah.
and I got like 2 pounds of ham. You know,
Yeah. Like
and
sandwich stuff. I
yeah,
mean,
it's processed. You know,
yeah.
and a couple other little odds and ends, and you know, I did get a bag of Doritos. You
Yeah.
know, treat yourself. But yeah, I mean, okay, so pretty much in agreement on that. It's a choice, just horrible choices.
Yeah.
It leads us down to porn addiction slash sex addiction.
Right.
How you feel on that?
I feel like there is an addiction to it. Just like basically anything else. Like you get a good feeling and you chase the good feeling. I mean, I think that's about as simple as it gets.
Yeah,
I do think it is a choice. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's like a disease in any way.
I don't think it's a disease. I think it's a mental state.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, so like the porn industry is like the number one industry in the world. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like they make money hand over fist,
Yeah,
or
like OnlyFans, all the
yeah,
different
or
websites,
dick over balls, however you want to put it. But
and yeah,
but um, it's there for a reason,
yeah,
you know. And it seems to be like a human nature kind of deal because everybody's got a thing.
yeah,
You know, I don't care how much you deny it, everybody does. Um, but I don't know. I mean, it, yeah, it's a choice, but I think it has a lot to do with your mental state,
okay,
like where you're at in life.
yeah.
So,
I don't know. We're pretty much in agreement on it.
are we? Okay, I didn't know if like you had a. I don't remember your take on it.
I think it is a choice, and um, I'm blanking. Yeah, I think it's just a choice. I think it just depends on like everybody likes feeling a certain way, and
Yeah,
whether it's with drugs, you like the high, or sugar, you like the taste, or
yeah,
with sex, you like the feeling. You're gonna keep chasing it every day because people like it, and I think it's a choice, but I think people choose to go out of their way for that kind of thing.
yeah.
It's really easy, like to not have those things, but I don't know, it's just me.
Well, that moves us on to it's both near and dear to our hearts here. Video game addiction.
Yeah, it's
Th-
a choice. Also, I
Think
think,
so?
yeah, I don't think it's a disease. I think very few of these have any disease aspects to it.
Um, I mean, I mean, I kind of agree with you. I think the maybe a disease, maybe not, would go up to like alcoholism and drugs.
Okay.
You know, like, but you know, I don't think that they're diseases, but
Well, I mean,
um,
it's like most people like video games because they're doing something they can't do in real life.
yeah,
They're escaping their real life, basically.
yeah. Like, I mean, and I can speak to that because I was like a video game addict. Like,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly was, and I know it, and I had to get away from it.
Yeah.
You know, but I chose to get into that life. Um, I chose to play the game. I didn't choose to be as addicted as I was,
Yeah.
but where I was at mentally in life and like, you know, professionally, mentally, you know, relationship wise, um, everything kind of funneled me towards trying to escape,
Yeah.
you know, because I was unhappy in all of them,
Yeah.
you know. So it was just best for me to not be in this world because I didn't feel like anybody wanted me in this world.
Yeah.
You know,
It was easier to be whatever character you were playing than it was to be you.
yeah, I mean, I could either go someplace and be celebrated, or I could live in reality and be hated.
Yeah.
So I mean, which one are you gonna go to?
Yeah.
I'm not some worthless piece of shit over here. You know, so I'm gonna stay hooked in.
Yeah.
But then I decided that okay, this is taking me as far as I can go.
Yeah.
I made a lot of good friends on there. A lot of people that I still think about, like on the daily. Like, I mean, because there's a lot of us, and we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Um, I had one call me the other day. Well, he texted me. Is my old guild master, and his name's Ace. It's not his real name, but that's
Yeah.
what. Um, anyway, he messaged me and goes, "Hey man, did you make a new Instagram?" Uh, I said, "What?" He goes, "Well, somebody's trying to friend me. Um, and he's using your name, but in your profile picture, but the name's kind of fucked up." I said, "No, that's not me. Unless he sends you a bigger dick pic than I do, then that's me all day." So, uh, but yeah, no, I did not start a second Instagram because I don't even use the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a few people on there that that whenever I tried to get into it because I thought it was like, oh, that's neat. Everybody's posting what they do and stuff like that. Because like vacation pics, I love vacation pics because I
Yeah.
want to go to these places I can never go. But yeah, no, wasn't me. All right. List does kind of seem lean towards me. Um, there really is a thing about being a workaholic.
Yeah.
That's an actual thing, I guess.
I think that is a disease. I think it starts as a choice and becomes a disease.
Well, I feel like I'm too close to it to really get. I mean, because I am, but I mean, to me, it seems like that's the only way you get ahead. I'm not as bad as I used to be,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, because I can't wrap my head around anybody saying, "Well, I mean, I've done 40 hours this week. What else do you want?"
Yeah.
Like, whatever the job requires. What are you talking about? You know,
Yeah.
like you have a responsibility. Like you chose this responsibility. Why didn't hell you're getting paid for it? You're making more money. Why don't you want to do it?
Yeah.
Like you and me have gone rounds on that.
Yeah.
We've argued about work stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and luckily you will probably never be like me whenever it comes to work.
I hope not.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I know you're going to work hard. I know you're going to provide
Yeah.
and you're going to do it in a way that is a good balance for you and your family.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think what you have done as a workaholic, I think you've lost your personal life a lot more than you should have.
Oh,
Like you should have retained a lot more of your personal life than you have.
yeah. Like, I mean, I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go to bars. I didn't go to parties.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, especially after you were born. Like, I mean, it was like, oh shit, full throttle, here we go.
Yeah.
Um,
I know I've got that gene somewhere deep down there. I hope I don't find it.
I, I, I really hope you. I mean, I wish you success in all of your career choices.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I always felt like I had something to prove. I mean, being a high school dropout
Yeah.
and you know, no trade skill to speak of outside of a Class A CDL.
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of which, if I get one of the jobs I just went and did an interview for, I have to get a Class E. I'll be a chauffeur.
oh yeah,
It's to like load and unload heavy equipment.
yeah. I mean, like every dad wants, like, oh, I want you to do what I did, da 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 da. Yeah, don't ever get your class A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. Like, if you have a class A license, you ain't got to worry about a job.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody's hiring drivers at all
yeah,
times.
especially now. Like, the worst thing that happens if, say, I got fired tomorrow,
Yeah.
I go hop in the truck and drive around the country. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have all my radio that I normally listen to because of Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Spotify. Give us sponsorship. Um, YouTube. Uh, you know, there's FaceTime. There's cell phone coverage everywhere now. Whenever
Yeah, and it's generally 5G, like the fastest best.
whenever I started driving, whenever you got past Amarillo, no cell phones until you got to Flagstaff. Or no, you had a little bit in Albuquerque and then Flagstaff, and then nothing until the California line, to Winslow, Arizona.
Yeah.
So now I can FaceTime from coast to coast, baby.
Yeah.
And if it gets sketchy, I got Starlink. I can put it on the truck. Hell, I could drive
But if it's
because
cloudy, you're screwed.
be fine, be fine. Just drive faster.
Beat the storm.
But yeah, I mean, I hope that you make it to more things for your kid than I did. Um,
I doubt I'll make it to the same assets you brought us. But I hope I bring more experiences.
yeah,
I
that's
would trade experiences over the assets.
yeah, and then so whenever I was little, we didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot of experience.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I ain't even told an eighth of the stories from growing up.
Yeah.
Like we did so many things, and my childhood compared to like my older brother who lived in Springfield, we were two sides of a different coin. Because he lived with my grandparents and they had quite a bit of money. Because my grandpa worked very hard, and
Yeah.
my grandma worked very hard. So he got the car, he had the four wheeler, he had this, he had that. He could go do this, take karate classes, go to college. Never really had to worry about working, until like after college.
Yeah.
Um, that was not my story. But I remember my dad was, you know, he was kind of down on himself, and he was telling me about, like, I'm sorry I couldn't give you the same life that your brother had. I was like, Dad, what are you talking about? Like, to me, I have lived a much better life.
Yeah.
Like I have experienced more out of life, than my brother. And it's not a knock on him. It's just that was the lifestyle that he was in.
Yeah.
Um, I was grateful for my childhood after I was an adult. As a child, I hated it.
Yeah.
My father was an asshole, like, like that's just the way, thought dad was just mean,
Yeah.
you know. But looking back, I mean, he gave me pretty much everything that I ever needed and a few things that I wanted.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, yeah, don't do me on that.
I think
La
I would definitely trade like getting my kid the new PlayStation. I would trade that for having like we went up to, you know, the Grand Canyon
Mhm.
for a week or something. Like I would much rather trade that over, getting them the new flashy things. And they might disagree with that, but I mean, like you said, looking back, you were much more happy you had experiences over assets.
Well, like I know, like one of our listeners is doing real well on that aspect, and like him and his family is on like a tour of the West Coast.
Really.
Yeah, I mean that's phenomenal. Like I mean that's stuff that they won't forget, kids won't forget. Like it's like I don't know. I worried too much about the material things.
Yeah.
because I thought that was the answer. Because I got what I'm getting them what I never had. They should be grateful. I never had this stuff.
Yeah.
But also you and me don't have a story of you and me at the creek fishing. I You accidentally cast over a limb on a tree and catch a bass at the same time.
Yeah.
And that happened with me and my dad, and he goes wading out into the water to get this bass because I was so upset that I was not going to get this fish.
Yeah.
And so he just waded out there and got it.
Yeah.
And then we ate it. But um, yeah, you had fishing poles, but
Yeah.
I wasn't there with you to use them.
Yeah, like probably 90% of the time I went fishing, it was by myself or with a friend or something.
I took you guys when you were little, and it was a pain in my ass because all I did was change lures.
Yeah.
That I mean, I never even got my pole wet. I got to the point I didn't get it out. I was just in between you and your brother, just changing lures back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back
Yeah.
and forth. Got real good at tying knots. So the last one on the list is shopping. That's 100% choice.
Yeah.
And
I'm not gonna fight you on that. Yeah.
yeah, and we've looked at the stats on our viewership, so I know I'm going to get a whole lot of hate for this, but um, you're not saving money if it's on sale.
Oh my gosh, I have to fight that battle almost every day.
You're not. You're spending $200 on clothes is spending $200 on clothes.
Yeah.
That's
So you
it.
find a good deal on some pants that are $15, they were at 50. You're still buying pants you don't need.
Yeah. If you don't need them, you don't need them. It don't matter how big the sale is. So I already feel it. Like we ain't even
I
posted this yet, and I feel it. Like it's
mean, there's a difference if you need it. Like, say you've only got 3, 4 pairs of pants. That's all you got, and summer's coming around. You don't have any shorts. It's
well,
different if there's a sale and like a couple pairs of shorts. That makes sense. That's not ridiculous. But if you have 50 pairs of pants and they have a different color that you want and there's on sale, you don't need to buy it.
hot take. I do think the shopping addiction is a disease. I do.
Okay.
It just happens to only affect females.
Oh.
So,
Well, we're not
or
getting a whole lot of likes this episode,
yeah,
are
no,
we?
yeah. I mean, I'll probably get some messages, but they ain't gonna be real good ones. um, I mean, have you ever gone to a store and just like, ooh, look at that bargain?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Oh yeah.
Do tell.
Well, I mean, like, I go, I have the text message thing on for vintage stock, right? So, like,
What'd you say, nerd?
so every time that they have some kind of big sale thing, sends me a text message like, "Oh, by the way, this is buy two get one free on whatever the hell
Uh-huh.
pre-owned items, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go and I'm like, you know what? I've been needing. I say need in my head, definitely don't, but
Mm-hmm.
I say I need a couple more comic books. I've read all the ones I got. I'll go and I'll go get my 2 comic books. Like, sweet, I get to pick one for free. Yeah. And go get a free one and feel like I got a damn good deal.
Uh-huh.
And there's been times they've had that exact same deal. Well, they had a buy one, get one free on
Mhm.
comic books. I went and spent probably $50 on comic books and got maybe $20 in comic books back because it has to be less than what you paid. But I went and spent so much money in comic books. I knew I was getting a bunch for free afterwards. But yeah, that would be my relatable take on that one.
So, Emma, you can hit as many sales as you wish.
Well, this is whenever I was single. I didn't have bills.
Mhm,
I could do whatever the hell I needed to.
mhm.
All my money was going to shit that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Whenever I was working at the rehab, I had one bill every month. That was it. I didn't need to take care of anything. I lived with my dad.
Yeah, you coulda used that to your advantage a little bit longer, but,
Yeah, I should
you
have.
shoulda.
But man, the comic books are fun and all the pretty colors.
Mhm. Um, well, that's the top 10 list of what are we talking about?
Addictions.
Addictions. Um, I don't know. I mean, that's a wide list and whatnot. We did browse through the list before we started, and we decided to take quizzes. I thought I would get Colby with, like, haha, I got you, video game quiz.
Yeah.
And then his smart ass gave me the porn quiz. So,
Would you like to do your quiz first?
I don't care.
Okay, we'll do yours first.
Mhm.
Okay. I have the questions here on my
Hit
phone.
me.
These are all yes and no questions.
Okay.
So, number one, do you spend excessive time viewing porn or thinking about sex?
What's excessive?
A large amount. Excessive means large amount.
Well, yeah, but that's subjective. Let me find out
It's a
what.
yes or no. Come on.
But if you don't know what excessive is,
It means large amount.
uh,
If you consider something a large amount,
hold on. Let me ask what the definition of excessive is. Okay.
larger than average.
No. Well, you don't know what the average is, so how are you going to know if it's larger?
Okay. What's your definition?
Spending more than 1 to 2 hours daily on porn or related thoughts frequently. 1 to 2 hours.
Damn.
1 to 2 hours?
Who spends? Oh.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the good. I mean,
I feel like more than like 30 minutes, like a daily. You're watching porn daily?
no, that's
Yeah, I know that's what it's saying. But like
yeah,
less than excessive is still an hour or something a day.
yeah. Spending more than 1 to 2 hours daily.
I would say like excessive would be like 1 to 2 hours a week.
Shit, I got like 45 to an hour 45 extra I can spend daily. Man, yeah, you can't be a workaholic. And I'm 100% more confident now. So the answer would be no. I don't feel that way.
Okay. Have you tried to number two? Have you tried to reduce or stop but can't?
No. Like I know I've gone like, man, I ain't gonna do that no more,
Okay.
and like didn't have a problem with it.
Okay. Do you feel guilt or shame afterward but continue the behavior?
I mean, I don't feel guilt or shame.
Okay.
I mean, I feel tired.
Has your sexual behavior? Why am I talking to you about this?
Well, you picked it.
I thought it'd be funny. It's not funny anymore. Um, has your sexual behavior interfered with work, school, or relationships?
No, I don't believe so. Like it. Like I work definitely not. What was the other one?
School?
School.
You dropped out. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
for
I
you.
mean, I wasn't paying that much attention anyway.
Or relationships?
Relationships. I want to say no. I know that it has like the frequencies changed,
Yeah.
but that was more of like like
You were on your game that month or not?
yeah, it was like unhappiness, that
Okay.
kind of deal. Like ugh, I was like, eh.
Yeah. Okay. Do you hide your behavior from others or lie about it?
I mean, I'm
You
doing
talk about your premium subscription all the time, so
yeah, I mean, I'm doing the questionnaire on a podcast, but but I will actually say yes because I mean, as much as I've talked about it, like nobody ever really talks about, you know.
yeah.
I mean, most people that listen to this is an adult, so but yeah, we don't.
Oh, I feel weird.
Well, yeah, I know you feel weird.
Yeah.
Uh, anyway, so nobody ever really talks about their thing. So I mean, I'm gonna say yes on that
Okay. Do you escalate the type? Oh, never mind. I'm skipping that one.
one. You know you can't.
Yeah.
Let I still got it. Let me read it. And
Well, I'll save it to the end, and then we can talk about it. Um, do you feel anxious or agitated when you try to go without it?
no, I feel relieved.
Okay. Do you use it to escape boredom, stress, or emotional pain?
Is there another reason? Like That sounds like all the reasons why you would.
If you want
So,
to look at it, I skipped number 6.
so I would say yes.
Okay. Um, have you neglected responsibilities or opportunities to engage in it?
Uh, Neglected responsibilities or opportunities to engage in it. No,
Do you feel out of control or compulsive about your urges?
no.
Okay, so your scoring guide down here says you're at low risk.
I know that's bullshit. Okay. I am normal, fuckers.
Whatever.
Well, all right.
What
Go
do I
on.
got for mine?
Video game addiction.
Okay, got it.
This is wording awful a lot. Okay. Do you often think about gaming when you are not playing?
Yes.
I mean,
I think about the getting ready for it at the end of the day. Like
okay.
while I'm at work, I'm like, man, I'm so excited.
Do you feel restless, irritable, or anxious when you cannot play?
No.
Okay. Do you do you frequently spend more time gaming than you intended?
Mm, yeah, I guess so. I kind of lose track of time playing
I was going to answer that one for you.
it.
Um, have you tried to cut back or stop gaming but failed?
No. Every time I wanted to, I stopped.
Yeah. Do you neglect school, work, or responsibilities because of gaming?
Yeah. I neglected school a lot and then responsibilities daily.
I was side eyeing the shit out of him. Do you lose sleep because you're gaming late at night?
No, I'm pretty strict about my sleep schedule. I have
No.
in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the past, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you lie to others about how much you play?
No, I don't think so. Why would I? Most of the time, the people I talk to are who I'm playing with.
Right. Have you lost interest in hobbies or socializing in favor of gaming?
Yes. I lost. I was really big into books. I loved reading books. And then I went back and started playing a game I used to play whenever I was a kid, and I've not picked up a book in quite a while since then.
Right. Do you use gaming to escape stress, sadness, or problems?
Um, no, generally whenever I'm like stressed or have problems, I like hyperfixate on those problems and those stresses. Like
Yeah.
it's all I think about. So no, I would say
All
no.
right. I would have been a yes on that one. Have you continued playing even when it causes fights or issues with family, work, or relationships?
I don't think so. No.
No.
Me and like the only relationship it would really affect would be mine and Emma's, and there's been several times where we play games together for a couple hours. So no, I don't think that's we've never fought about it either. In past relationships, I have thought about it, but no, not anymore.
Or, you mean like playing or fighting over the game?
Like I was in a relationship and we got into a fight over me playing too often.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
But it's currently a no.
no,
All right. So you scored a 4. Moderate concern. Monitor behavior.
monitor my
Yeah.
behavior. Okay,
So yes, scoring guide 3 to 5 is a yes. Moderate concern. Monitor behavior. So you're only. I mean, you were 2 away from a higher risk of addiction.
okay.
Consider seeking help,
I need to go to rehab over video games.
dude. I mean, there's some that I don't think it would hurt.
There were whenever I worked at the rehab, there were people that would come in for marijuana,
Yeah.
and people like the other addicts in the unit I was in, they would make fun of them, like give them shit, like weed's not a problem. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, he's in the right place. I've seen weed ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
Like it's just as real as any other addiction.
Yeah, well, because it's I mean, I know I sound like an old fart, but weed's not the same.
Yeah,
It's just not. I mean, and
it's with all these chemicals and all this extra shit now. It's not just a plant anymore.
yeah, I mean, because I ate a cookie, my like 2 days was like all fucked up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like I mean, be really careful with chocolate chip. Um, but yeah, it messed with me that night, the next day, and then the day after. I'm like, the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, luckily I found out pretty quick what I had, but um, yeah, especially don't eat the whole cookie.
Well, you think one cookie wouldn't do anything terrible? Like I remember you whenever you did eat it, you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sleep well.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have a good night's sleep. That's all gonna be his."
yeah. I
And
mean,
then
that's what I thought.
and then the next 2 days you were going through it.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, wow, that is not the same thing.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
like off your ass with it.
yeah. So, mm, I don't know. I mean, I know we did a lot on the choices and disease thing, and for the most part, we're pretty much in line with, except for the alcoholism and the drug addiction.
Yeah.
Like you were more on the disease side, but
I think that's only because I have more like physical experience with it, like seeing people with it and dealing with
mm,
the actual problem physically.
yeah.
So,
I mean, that being said, we're not judging anybody, and if you feel like, you know, any of this speaks to you, then, and you feel like you need to get help, then, please by all means do. There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
Um, whether we think it's a choice or a disease, in the end, it doesn't matter because, we don't know what the
if
fuck
it
we're
affects
talking
your
about.
life in a bad way, you need to change it. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I just, I mean, I don't want people to think that, like, well, these fucking uppity assholes, they think that everything's a choice. And
Doesn't mean it's an easy choice.
well, I mean, some things are a lazy choice. The sugar addiction, like that I'm on, that's a lazy choice.
Yeah,
I mean,
like video games, social media. Those are all lazy choices.
yeah. I mean, could I eat better? Yes, I could. I just have to make better financial decisions, cut out a few things,
Yeah,
and then I can afford to eat my raw carrots every day. Have a tomato sandwich.
yeah,
Um, I could do that. Cancel Netflix, cancel Disney Plus. You know, cut out smoking.
yeah,
Like I could live a healthier life and be able to afford it, but I choose not to.
yeah.
I choose to be lazy. I choose to not confront my addictions and that I do have. And I mean, I confronted the video game one, but it was different because I was ready. Like
Yeah.
I'd made that decision. I actually put in I actually put in a 2 week notice. That yeah, I shit you not. I put in a 2 week notice that I was quitting WoW.
Really?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Counted down, held to it, and and I didn't give up video games completely.
Yeah, but you
You
give up
know,
that game.
I gave up that game, and I I have made made it a thing now. Whenever I look at buying games, I do not buy games that require that much time.
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto. I can play it, and then something comes up. I need to go to work. I need to, I'm going on a date, whatever. I can pause it, save it, turn it off, and come back to it later.
yeah.
I generally don't play multiplayer unless it's like Apex Legend, or like
What'd you
a
say?
Apex Legends,
Okay, yeah,
or a Fortnite kind of thing. Which I don't play Fortnite, but you get on, you play a few rounds, and then you get off.
yeah. Like
You know,
Overwatch, that kind of
Overwatch,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
You get on, you play a little bit, and you leave, and you don't lose anything.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. We got a tight buddy. Netflix screened across the show called Blind Spot, and there's this like short-haired tattooed chick, like,
and I like wide-eyed her.
yeah. Anyway, um, I don't know if you had fun this time, but I did.
Yeah, we definitely weren't as boring as last week.
Well, I mean, that's yet to be determined. So, what are we on time? We good?
Yeah, we're good.
No, no, like
Nah, we're good.
my good or your good?
We're good.
How long?
105.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. I would think like 30 minutes is good for you.
I was thinking about it 30 minutes ago.
Thank you so much. But all right, everybody, have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next week.